Today's coverage brought to you by EA Sports and the PGA Tour. This is Rich Lerner alongside my colleague Frank Nobilo for EA Sports, calling all the action for today's event. We are here at Wolf Creek Golf Club. It's located in Mesquite, Nevada. Frank, if I didn't know that it was Mesquite, Nevada, I think we landed on the moon and they built the golf course here. This is just mind-boggling.
Yeah, 100 years ago, you couldn't build a golf course like this here. Obviously, all the equipment needed, but in the end, it's wonderful. It's an absolute playground for anyone that sort of loves to play the game. It is desert golf, obviously because of the terrain, but the green oasis that cuts in between is each hole. It just sort of gives you a totally different experience because you keep having to remind yourself you are smack bang in the middle of the desert.
Well, that was a big, bold strike, and now a chance for a big, bold move. Putt for eagle coming up. Do that. Ready to tee off here at the second hole. Quite a view from up here, Frank.
Once again, big elevated tee. It's hard to imagine you have a tee that high up, but that'll shorten that 445 yards. Obviously, it's a dog leg left. You've got to be careful if you hit driver and two straight because then you can run out. A nice tee shot in the middle there, and then you've got a relatively straight shot into this sort of par 4 green, obviously going a little bit back up the hill. And once again, a little bit like that opening hole, sort of different tiers on that green. Try and make sure that you're on the right one.
Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
That had to really hurt, Frank, because it looked good all the way.
Well, this will test his middle.
Settles in over the putt. No problems early. Looks good.
It does look good. This bodes well. We might be in for a very, very low round today. Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
Oh, just a superb shot.
You're not going to see much better than that all day today.
Frank going for another birdie here.
Just to get on a real roll.
Drops another birdie and moves to 4 under on the day. Back to the tee here at Wolf Creek. A lot of sand along the right side of this fairway leading up to the green, Frank.
Yeah, I can't even count how many bunkers they got down that right side. It's easy to see where not to go. So obviously you want to get that ball up on that left side. And then really it's just a short pitch across. Yeah, this hole's only 383 yards and it won't even really play its distance. But of course you've got to be careful. It's not long, but fairway first once again here. You can see all the problems around there if you do miss this fairway.
Oh my goodness, that is on in one. Wow, what an incredible shot. Frank, you had to make a run at that one.
Oh, yeah, good effort. Let's see if he can make birdie, but Oda put an eagle on the scorecard. What that would have meant to him.
Starting to feel it. 2 in a row and 5 under for the tournament. We're in the desert, partner. I need water.
You're going to get it here, Rich. Par 5 second hole's got a nice stream that runs down the left side, as well as cutting the fairway. There's a crop of some 3 bunkers down that right side. I want to avoid that, but, you know, Rich, this hole isn't too long. Under 500 yards, not even going to play that long, so very reachable.
Right out of the center of the bat.
Did you hear that?
Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for a living.
That is an excellent play right there. The approach, getting him another good look. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Now to 7 under par. Here at the 6th, 447-yard par 4. Pretty good hole, Frank.
Yeah, probably a layup hole, too, for the longer hitters. Something out there around the 280, 290-yard mark to make sure you don't go it in the stream. Obviously, it's a dogleg right, as you can see. The canyon on both sides is sort of well-defined, so you know where not to go. Second shot plays a little bit back up the hill to a green. Once again, that's anything other than flat. It's fun. You've got to make sure you get that ball on the right tier if you want to have a birdie putt here.
A great way to start a hole, nicely placed in the fairway. Setting up for the approach, this player in total command.
Yeah, it's beautiful. The decision-making, club selection's been spot on, but the execution, the swing, is really what I'm admiring right now.
Pretty good shot right there, about 10 feet away, setting up the putt for birdie. This one just requires a little bit of focus. Headed for a handful right now. 4 birdies on the day. Now on to the par 4 7th hole. Is this a reachable par 4, Frank?
Distance-wise, you would think so, but the designer has done something to avoid that, and that's put all this water in front of the green. It would take a mammoth tee shot, and that's something like 300 yards through the air if you're going to try and even drive this green. Is the risk worth it? Well, if you're just playing with your friends, maybe it is. Otherwise, you just lay it up just past those those bunkers on the right and the left. Get it down there on the flat. A little pitch you would think is simple, but because of the slope of this fairway, chances are you might not get a flat lie, and that's going to make that second shot that much harder.
Oh, I thought he had that. Oh, man.
Just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Just a couple of feet. Stacking them and racking them. Frank, this is the kind of hole that you like to drop a bag of balls and just have fun. Hit it all day long as if you were at the range. Unfortunately, you only get one crack, and you better be good. This is a tough hole.
Well, if you find the water, actually, you might get another one off there. It certainly is a tough hole, though, Rich. The stream going all the way down the left-hand side, and it wraps right around the left and behind the screen, makes that tee shot, it certainly makes you think about that tee shot while you're on the tee. Prudent play, aim for the right edge of the green. There's nothing wrong if you just miss the green on the right, but miss the green by a yard on the left.
In the cup. What a shot. Can't get much better than that. Finishing up this front side here at the par 4 9th, 390 yards. And what are we looking at, Frank?
Well, it looks relatively straightforward, but it's anything other than that. Decision time again. Do you lay it up into that wide area of the fairway? If you're a longer hitter and you are out here to have a little bit of fun, then maybe you want to take the head cover off, because you get a little bit of an advantage if you can drive it over that last bunker on that right side, or at least take that out of play, because you're only going to have a short pitch in here.
I mean, that is a sight to behold. What a spectacular shot we just saw on the par 4 with a drive in one.
It's a cruel game.
Frank, this is a nice run right here.
Oh, yeah, and this is very makeable, too. Excellent chance for 4 in a row.
Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back. There's something about a well-hit shot.
Nice long tee shot there and a good lie, Frank. Frank, this is a pretty challenging approach shot here at the 10th.
It's certainly one of the longest second shots you'll play into a par 4 at Wolf Creek. You're coming off a lie with a ball slightly above your feet, so that's a hook shot. And you're really hitting a hook shot into a green that's designed to hit a cut. It makes this shot a little bit more challenging, so just be a little careful here. Rich, I'm starting to lose count. This is just birdie after birdie.
It's all-time stuff. I mean, this is territory we just don't visit very often. Frank, another really rugged hole. This is the par 3 11th here at Wolf Creek.
Rich, remember that book, Dead Solid Perfect? This is what this hole's all about, because you must hit that tee shot solid. You've got to carry all the trouble in front of you. And remind yourself, too, there's enough green grass down there. Not necessarily green, but green grass around there. A good shot safely on the putting surface here, and this green's not too severe. But this is a fun par 3 just to look at, or even at least experience.
Knocking down all the shots today, now at 13 under. Par 5, 12th, and Frank, another reminder that Wolf Creek can really be intimidating.
It can. Water down the left. They'll take a huge dent off your scorecard. A lot of fairway down the right. Somehow find that. This par 5 can be reachable in 2. There's still trouble to the right of this green if you get a little bit cavalier. This, without doubt, the longest green on the golf course. It's 55 yards from front to back.
That is an absolute seed. I mean, he just ripped a bullet down the fairway. Oh my goodness, 375 yards. Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. What a shot. I mean, almost in. This would give him an eagle. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. 13th hole here at Wolf Creek, and Frank, anyone can say, oh, I'm going to take this one over the trees. But very few can stand up and say, I'm flying this baby clear over the mountains.
Yeah, if you take the direct route, obviously it's going to be much shorter than the 350 yards that it's measured as a dogleg right. So the direct line, well, I don't want to tell you the exact yardage because it might give you too much of a clue, but it might be worth taking. It's going to be a blind tee shot, though, and you're not quite sure on the outcome.
Frank, it's one thing to jumpstart your round. This would ignite the round.
Yeah, you don't normally see 2 par 5s back-to-back. So the chances of having consecutive eagles is so rare.
Well, that was a bold effort at eagle there, Frank.
Oh, you got to applaud him there, though. You're going for eagle. There's no way he was going to leave it short.
Good effort, just didn't drop. Good par. Frank, describe the layout here at the 14th hole. It's 444 yards, and what a beautiful hole.
It is, and it's a beautiful view. You see everything from the top of that tee there. It's a hole that keeps bending to the left. There's enough bunkers down the left there to actually take your eye. That's why you got to fixate on something in the distance that's a much better line than worrying about that wall of sand down the left side.
Headed for the bunker, I think. He just missed the bunker. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. That had to really hurt, Frank, because it looked good all the way.
Well, this will test his mettle.
Well done. Now to the par 3 15th hole here at Wolf Creek. Frank, this is the shortest hole on the course.
And their version of a postage stamp type hole minus the bunkers on the right side. Green elevated, falls off as you can see down the left side. Club selection is vital, but it is such a short hole. It's very, very tempting, especially when that flag's on the left side, to still go at it. But you miss this green on the left and you are going to be considerably lower than the level of this green.
Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. You have to make those from that distance. That hurts. Nudge this one home, finish it up. Now to the 16th hole, and Frank, another good scoring chance.
If you can avoid the confusion off the tee, it looks like the hole might be a dogleg, then is it a carry? It meanders from one way to the other, but really when you actually break the hole down, it's virtually straight ahead. Those 2 bunkers in the driving distance, they frame the hole nicely, so play it as a straightaway par 4. It should set up beautifully for just a little short iron and perhaps a birdie opportunity.
Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up? It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is.
Birdie try up next. Looking to make a move. This putt for birdie. Now to the 17th, par 5 here at Wolf Creek Golf Club.
Yeah, dogleg left. Tee shot obviously has to be played short of that creek down there. It's still going to be a reachable hole, even though this hole's sort of around the 550, 560 mark. But because you've got to play short of that stream, it's going to leave a lengthy second shot, and you've got to get the distance right on the button. That's a ginormous tee shot.
So a par 5 late in the round, Frank, you'll want to take advantage.
And you want to take the risk too. A good tee shot that's within reach. It's too tempting not to go for this green. It's big enough, but obviously you've really got to try and forget all the trouble in front and around the right side of this green, and perhaps even long. But a par 5 that's reachable, especially this late in the round, who wouldn't want to have a go at this?
And he's made it for eagle. 18th hole, and Frank, again, a good scoring opportunity. Short par 4.
Yeah, if you looked at the scorecard, you'd think you could drive this green, but one quick look at the trouble in front and to the right of the screen, and you realize that's probably not the prudent play. Really, something 230, 240 yards off the tee in that vicinity is going to leave you just a flick wedge into this green. It is a rather narrow green, but from that distance, you'd expect to hit it close.
This is a pretty long putt here. You'd be happy to get this to within 2 or 3 feet. You really want to take the stress out of that next putt. So a long putt there and just didn't read it quite right. Shouldn't be a problem here. That's how you keep a round going. Make them from that distance. Frank, that was an impressive round out there today.